People born before 1990, what trivial skill do you possess that nobody uses anymore? The proper speed and rhythm to roll up a manual car window in 1.2 seconds. Stealing music from the radio to make cassette tapes on a boombox. Using the old CA-chunk credit card machine. Using and changing ribbons on a manual typewriter. Knowing how to use the card catalog at the library. Lol. I think I still know how to write a check. Programming a VCR and navigating using a road map. Calling my parents collect from a payphone and saying, "Mom, come pick me up," when the system asked for my name. Then hanging up. Programming in BASIC. The ability to rewind a cassette tape using a pencil. I can fold up a road map into its original fold lines. Extremely useless. I still know all the phone numbers of my old friends from school. And my old home numbers. I haven't memorized any new phone number since 2010 except my own. The ability to write in cursive. Mechanical drawing. Can properly use a Thomas guide. Dialing a rotary phone. Building a token ring network. Fine-tuning a C-band satellite receiver just enough off-axis to bypass the content filter on the premium channels, with only a slightly staticky video feed. Knowing how to use jumpers to switch HDDs from slave to master. Used DOS only using command prompt. You're goddamn right I'm gonna get this Nintendo cartridge to work. If I blow on it with just the right amount of force and insert it at a very particular angle, it'll work every time. Sometimes I can memorize 10-digit numbers. I can type well, quickly, properly. I can change the ribbon on a manual typewriter. I can type on carbon paper without making any mistakes. I know how to write a check. I know how to iron. I can sew. I know the polite way to ride on an escalator. I know how to use a cable box on a TV. I know how to make lye soap. I can put the needle down on a record in the exact spot to start the song of choice. I can read a paper map. I can fold a newspaper lengthwise into 4 parts for ease of reading on a crowded subway. I am all set for the post-apocalypse world. Edit. Typo. Reloading paper into your dot matrix printer. You gotta line the holes in the paper up just right. I can correctly gap the points in a distributor. I can drive a car with a manual transmission. Button timing to start recording from the radio onto cassette tape. Making copies with a mimeograph. Setting IRQ, DMA, and dip switches. Mimic the sound of a dial-up modem. Moving around the antennae on a TV or radio to improve reception or in an emergency rolling up some aluminum foil to add to the antennae. I can roll cigarettes like nobody's business. Bump start a car. Growing up in Moscow in the 90s, I had to learn very early on how to tell if a car next to your apartment building is rigged with explosives. A few neighbors were killed that way. Sounds outlandish, right? No. Seriously. I remember my dad telling how to be on the lookout for weird wires leading away from a car upon approaching one. And no. We didn't own a vehicle. The problem was that you had to be careful in order not to become collateral damage. I was 5. The year was 1995. I miss those times. They were tough. But we were so free and so full of hope for a brighter future. I can read a map. I know how to build a rabbit trap box. Build minnow and crawfish baskets. Dam creeks. Climb trees. And entertain myself alone. In the woods with nothing but the clothes I'm wearing. The ability to use a slide rule. Though honestly I didn't actually learn until sometime in the mid-2000s. Dipped switches. IRQs. And pretty accurate with my HIMEM.sys configs. Notching disks with a hole punch to double-side them. To be fair, the dip switches did help me out with my garage door opener recently. Math in my head. I can easily count back money without using a cash register or calculator. I worked at a movie theater during high school. There was no cash register, only a digital adding machine. You had to count back change. You also had to count every cup, popcorn box, and box of candy every night. Basically a full inventory every night. We always tried to mess each other up counting by telling jokes or making random noises. To this day I am a very focused counter. Damn, I can't believe I only made $3.35 an hour at that job. Being able to tell the time on an analog clock. I can set a fire, in a fireplace, stove, and keep it going for the evening. Press play and record at the same time, and you can record what is on radio on an cassette tape. I can drive a vehicle with 3 on the tree. Jesus, this thread makes me feel old. I can find the hell out of something in books due to phone book usage.